sourdough bread and making a loaf. The big thing I'm going to do differently this week is I told a coworker that she was like, I want to try your bread. It just came up in conversation this week, so I was like, oh, I'll make you a loaf. So I'm going to make 2 loaves, not 4, 2. 1,000 grams of flour, and then divide it in half. So let's get 500 grams of white, all-purpose white. Yeah. So actually making larger loaves is, I've done it, it's been a while since I've done it, but the last time I did it was actually kind of easy. A little bit, not kind of, it was easier than doing it with a smaller amount. That's why I do 666. It's not 500, it's a little bit more, and it's a little bit easier to work with overall, I feel. But watch me prove myself wrong. So far I put 400, it ended up being 492 grams. That's close enough. I have my bowl. I realized my bowl I hadn't put it in the dishwasher, so I just had to wash it by hand. So I'm letting it dry, but I'm gonna need it in a few minutes, not a problem. This is the type of flour I always use. I always use King Arthur flour, both white and wheat. So right now I have 774 grams. Trying to get up to 1,000. So I do 75% hydration, between 74 and 76. I'm gonna do 75 today. So I need 750 grams of water. I always use filtered water. You can use water straight from the tap, I suppose, because you are cooking it. It'll get most of the plastic out, right? Okay, so 2 cups of water is approximately 486 grams. That's not enough water. So I'm gonna need to hold it in something. Actually, let's do that. I don't wanna have to get a bunch of stuff. My starter is looking pretty good. I fed it around 3 hours ago. I fed it yesterday. Now I'm feeding it. Fed it around 3 hours ago. I thought maybe it wouldn't be enough time, but it looks like it will be. Today is a cool-ish morning and then a warm afternoon. But it's very dry outside, for Houston at least. The humidity is below 50%, which is not earth-shattering, but it is relatively dry for Houston. It's already, I'm filming this on the 11th of October, Saturday, and then tomorrow. So, should be pretty good. I don't know, we're gonna find out. I haven't done 1,000 in a while, so I'm excited to try 1,000 again, because it should be, I should have a better grasp on how to do all of this. You'd think after 80 plus loaves, but ideally I would make I would do this like 3 or 4 times a week to try to flex that muscle, to try to, learn a little bit better. It feels good to have 1,000 grams of flour though. It's really nice. Feels like a proper amount. So 1,000 grams of flour, 750 grams of water. This is not even close to being warm. That's funny. Let's do this. Let's pour it in here. For some reason, it warms up better than this. And to be honest with you, I don't know if these are microwave safe. This is the glass I use to keep my starter in. I switch them out every couple of weeks because they start getting crusty on the edges. Just clean them off. They are dishwasher safe. I've put them in the dishwasher countless times. So this is the other. So this is 750 grams of water. Ooh, it's a lot. There we go. Okay. It takes a minute, and you just have to be patient, and you also have to remember that all of this stuff will stick to you like glue for the first couple of minutes, and you just have to work through it, and you have to just not freak out and just keep mixing. This is an auto lease, so this is just the mixing of the flour and the water together to get your dough started. So I'm gonna mix this for a few minutes. Then after that, let it sit for about a half hour to rest, or 45 minutes. Then we add our starter and salt, mix all that sucker in together, and we're well on our way. So this is gonna take most of the day. This and the mixing of the starter are the hardest parts. Not the hardest parts, the dirtiest parts. Your hand's gonna get dirty, or not dirty, but covered in dough. The worst thing to do here is to freak out. If you're gonna have to add a little more flour, this is the time to do it. Do it like in tablespoons at a time. I think I need another tablespoon approximately. It's gonna be a gooey, it's gonna be scratchy, that's fine. If it's too gooey, you can kind of feel it like that. I knew it was not gonna start to turn that corner, but adding this little bit of flour just changes it. You can just feel it instantly that, hey, now it's a more manageable gob of dough. So keep twisting. You can do this with a stand mixer. I prefer to do it by hand because right now I can feel how the dough is, and also I can tell, hey, wait a second, there's a dry patch, or ooh, there's a gooey patch. We don't want either of those. We want a homogeneous dough. That'll make the process go a lot better. It won't work right if you got a dry patch, a wet patch. Won't work. You get all the bread won't rise properly, then especially it won't bake right. It won't proof. You just won't get those little bubbles that you need. Fermentation. Okay. There's an exact science to it. There is. I don't know it. I've done this by feel, and I kind of get a feel for what I need to do. So there you go. The fact that it mostly didn't stick to my hand is good, but it's going to take a little bit of work. But that's what the next steps are for. So this is done for now. The auto lease is set. It needs like an hour to rest, and then we'll be back to add our starter. Okay. It's a little bit sticky, but not too bad. Moving it around a little bit has definitely helped. $15 is what percentage of 666? 2% of 1,000. First thing we're going to add is a little bit of salt. Oh, should probably grab the salt, huh? So we need around 20 grams, or I'm sorry, 20%. Oh no, it's 2% salt, which in this case is 20 grams. $20 grams of salt. This, I think putting in the salt is the hardest part, because you got to make sure it's integrated properly. You want to have salt everywhere, because if you don't have salt, the bread does not taste like anything. Even though your starter and everything does have a flavor to it, you need salt. That's just part of the process. So, getting this salt to dissolve and to be fully integrated, and make sure you don't have pockets of salt, because I've had that where you're starting to, you think everything's okay, and then you work your fingers through to make sure, and you find a pocket of salt. Not good. If I ever err on this, I always err on the side of not enough moisture instead of too much moisture. Maybe, I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. Usually it's okay. So if it's a bit drier, then I think it should be. I'm usually okay with it. When it's too wet, that's when I've had problems. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. That's just when I've had problems. So I need 180 grams of starter. This starter's, it's in 1052. I fed it around 6 o'clock this morning. The room is around 74, 75 degrees, so should be okay. It's got a lot of air in it. That's nice. That's what you want. You want it on the way up, and you want it to be nice and airy. And it should have a nice sweet aroma to it. I always say flowery. I don't know if that's the right way to describe it, but it smells sweet, almost perfumey, like that level of sweet. I prefer that. I know I've had better luck with it when it smells like that. Feels silly having to put it in one and then back into another, but I got to make sure the measurements are close at the bare minimum. Actually, you want them to be right. You want them to be accurate, so that way you can make the right dough every time. But because this is the stickiest part. Just want to pinch it in first. Just get it integrated. Just squeeze it through as much as possible. And then start folding. Oh no, wait. Wrong thing. I'm gonna need this bowl again. I just got water in it and I'm gonna have to dry it and wash it again. Oh. I'm not that far along. That's hours from now I can clean that bowl. Anyway, that's what I meant to do, was just wash the little one. Okay. So that's a mess that I had to clean now. Might as well let the water run in it. I'm gonna have to give it a proper wash before I put the bread in it. It's coming together a little bit better now. It's been 8 minutes since I started the camera again. So I at least have 5 minutes of doing this. 8, 9, 10, 11, okay. Making sure my math is right. 8 plus 5. As I'm doing it, it's smooth on the other side. So that's good. We're getting somewhere. It's not ready yet, but we're getting somewhere. Now we have our dough, which is significant. It's got a significant weight to it, which is interesting. Building some tension in it already, which is what we need. Smoothing it out. Look at that. Looks good. Looks right. All right. It's a tiny bit cool to the touch. Not bad. A little bit below the temperature of my skin, which is not terrible. But I'm going to put it back in the oven with the light on so it stays around. I want to keep it around 85 to 90 degrees. So back in there. All the hard stuff is, all the messy stuff is done. And most of the hard stuff too, this is like the hardest part, making sure the measurements are right and everything. But back in the oven, we'll be back in an hour and we'll start our folds. So it's 84.4 degrees Fahrenheit in the center. That's pretty good. I want to keep it in that mid 80s range. Not too much more than that. If it cools just a bit, if it stays above like 78, 70, like around there, then you're still in pretty good shape. So it's been a little over, just over 45 minutes or so. I think this is coming along pretty well. So let me get my hands wet and I'm going to do our first fold. And I forgot the one thing I was going to do. Wet hands. Feels good. Look at that stretch. Very nice. Super smooth. Okay, first fold done. So first fold done. Could give it another hour, give it another fold. We're gonna do a total of 3 folds for this, and I think we're in good shape. So just gonna let this sit, and I'm gonna go sit too. Let's take a look. It's really nice. It's proper odor. Get my hand wet here. Don't break your bowl. Looking good. Holding together really well. I'm keeping it warm-ish. Not just so it's room temperature is like 74. I want to keep it like around 80, 83, 85. So that's done. Wait another hour and do our final fold. Typically, I have a light on, an LED light to give. But maybe it's bright enough that it doesn't need it. It feels a little bit more natural. Anyway, third and final fold. It's really nice. It looks really good. Nice and wet. A lot of air bubbles in it. It's nice. Feels fluffy. Ooh. Now the thing that I need to think about here is this needs to be 2 loaves. So I'm gonna have to weigh them, I guess, and figure out 500 per Bannaton. So that's a problem for Rudy in an hour from now. This is done, it's folded, feels really nice. I think we're onto something here. So let this sit for another hour and then we'll get on to the next problem. Divide this in half approximately, or close to, or exactly as I can. So let's see what we can do here. It's still pretty fluffy, it's nice. Oh wow, that was pretty close. That's basic. One was 990, 199 was no 998, and 989. So really close. Still feels pretty warm. Trying to build some tension in this. I think everything's looking pretty good. Okay, so that's one. So there we go, there's 2, and actually it looks like I know what I'm doing. That's interesting. So now we have everything, we're set for proofing, I should say. Get some of this off my hand, set the oven to proof. I need shower caps. I don't think proofing should take that long. I'll check it in an hour. I think I'm going to call it, regardless of how close or far it is, at no more than like 70 minutes, because I don't want to It's still gonna have the warmth from the oven. It's gonna take a little bit for the fridge. I couldn't think of the word, for the fridge to cool down. So I keep that like an hour in the proofing process still, so I don't want to overproof it. I think we can get away with it finishing in the fridge because it's not good. It's, like I said, it takes a little bit for the whole thing to finally cool off. Because last time it was pretty nice, and then it kept growing in the fridge, which turned out to be an okay thing, but I think it may have just been slightly overproofed. So I want to shoot right for the middle and get this, get it right and get it nice. Maybe I'll just start making 1,000 if it comes out okay. Just start making an extra loaf and seeing who wants one. That's the camera going off. So it is 2:56. I'm gonna check it in an hour and probably pull regardless of how much, unless it's like crazy low and nothing has happened. I think I'll give it like 70, maybe 75 minutes, and then that'll be it. And then I'll pop it in the fridge and we'll reconvene in the morning. But everything looks good so far. I don't want to move the camera. Everything looks good so far. We'll see what we got in an hour. So I'm going to do the one that's a little bit more proofed, or a little bit more poofy right now. This one poofed out quite a bit, even more over the top of what I had before. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. Sometimes it's a bad thing, so we'll see. Let me line up my blade. Ooh, okay. Looks pretty good. Feels all right. Feels a bit gooey. Not in a good way though. Just gonna put 3 cuts on it. Hopefully it's not deflating too much already. I got my pot ready to go. Nice hot 500-degree oven. It's looking pretty good. This slightly smaller loaf fits in the pan a bit better. So, okay. Here we go. All right, it's gonna take, it's ever so slightly smaller. Set a timer for 21 minutes. I'm gonna give it about 21 minutes. Normally I do 23, but that's a little bit larger of a... Set a timer for 21 minutes. There we go. And thank you, Siri, for not working right the first time. Anyway, I set it for a couple minutes quicker because it's a little bit smaller. It seems like it's okay. It's got a lot of air in it. Whether or not that equates to it deflating or popping up, we're gonna find out in about 20 minutes. It's pretty, I think it should be okay. I'm not an expert at this, so we're gonna find out in the magic of editing. It's gonna happen in a moment. So, what we got here? I think this one came out right. It's got some color to it. It didn't rise as much as I'd like, and it did this whole popping on the side again. I think it's just the strength isn't right yet. I don't know. So this is good. Let this sit for a moment. Let's put this back in. I'm gonna bake the other one right away, but I'm gonna give this a couple of minutes, give this time to cool, and to this time to cool. It's a nice loaf. Overall, it's split pretty nice. It's got some good ears on it. A lot of bubbles on the sides. That's a lot of fermentation. I'd like it to be like that tall, but it's a smaller amount of material too, so it's not going to get as big. So, loaf one done. On to the next loaf. This one's didn't rise as much, but it did rise a little bit more after I took it off. After I put it in the fridge, I mean. So, same deal. Plop the sucker over. Looks pretty good. Take my lamb here. Give it a cut. Give it 3 cuts. Take my pot out. Remember that it's searing hot. You do not touch it with a bare hand. Okay, here we go. Set a timer for 21 minutes. All right, so 21 minutes at this size I think is okay. Maybe when I take the top off, I'll do it for 10 minutes. Although this is a nice color. I don't mind it being a little brown like that. The crust is nice. The crumbs should be okay. I like having it on this raised. This is a raised cooler, I guess. That way you get air all the way around it and it cools evenly, and all of that, any residual heat can escape from it a lot quicker. And my AC vent hits right here. I can feel it hitting my face right now. So you get a good flow of air, flow of cool air, and it has time to cool off. This, I like to give it at least 4 hours to cool. With this, because it's a little bit smaller, maybe it only needs 3 hours or so. But either way, I'm not touching this. Whichever loaf looks better. This one looks pretty good, so I'm gonna give this to a coworker. Whichever loaf looks better, I'm gonna give her the really good-looking coworker. Of course, anyway. Waiting on the second one. I haven't baked 2 at a time in a long time, so it's pretty fun. I wouldn't mind just doing it like this if I had somebody to hand it off to, because I can barely make it through one loaf. Even my wife and I, sitting there having breakfast toast, and I made a burger with it. I made a burger bun with this. It was the best burger bun I've ever had. It's boasting. It sounds gauche for me to say because it's mine, but I thought it tasted fantastic with the burger. Anyway, got 19 minutes, and we'll see how the other one comes out. Right, second one's done. Second one kind of looked okay also. I gotta figure out proofing. Proofing has always been like a problem for me. I either over or underproof, and it's obviously a very important part of the process. Now they're almost twins. This one's slightly smaller because it was slightly smaller. Okay. I don't know. You always see it in I want to have a Martha Stewart loaf where it's this elegant big thing, but I just got to get back and practice. It did the same thing where I wanted to pop on the side. This one actually popped on the side. There's a crack. It's baked. It's hollow on the center. It looks passable. It is a smaller loaf. I'm wanting to see something bigger, but it is only a small amount of dough, smaller than I usually make. I usually make one 166 grams more, so that ends up being close to 1,000 grams by itself. So these are both close to 1,000 grams each total before I put them in the bannetons overnight. Maybe I'll start baking the same day again. I hadn't done that in a while. I haven't done that since I started. Maybe the next time, once it's proved, I'll just I remember one guy said you should refrigerate, but then if you're going to do it the same day. I need to review all those notes and review those videos more importantly. But anyway, loaves are done. They're passable, I guess. I'll give them solid C's. They both get 78s. I don't know. I'm always wanting it to go up. I need to add more tension. I need to maybe when I first mix it more, mix it for longer, and try to get it smooth on the first before I start folding. You know, there's always room for improvement, and these definitely could take some improvement, but I think they're okay. So, both done. Gonna let them cool for a while, a couple hours at least. I need to figure out. I think I'll give her this one, and I'll keep this one because it's got that pop on the side that kind of looks funky. Whereas this has it, but it didn't crack. So, cooling. Back to watching football.